Okay, we have another race today. In Forza Motorsports. We're going to be competing in the A class once again, heading over to Barcelona, Spain at the Catalunya track. We're going to be using a Subaru, um, I can't remember the name of the model. Kind of reminds me of, kind of looks like a Forester, but it must be some European model. A, a But anyway, it's a wet, gloomy day, and I'm gonna head on out here to go qualifying. This is one of those rally cars, so we'll see how this thing does in the gloomy weather. Trying to get the feel of the car a little bit. Got got kind of a oddball gear ratio in it. And for the amount of horsepower that this car is purportedly to have, it has really slow pickup. And it doesn't seem to like the wet tires very much. But I'm giving it the best shot I can. I've only driven this car to a very limited degree, so I don't really have it all dialed in. And this is usually 50, 60 in through here, and then you gotta kind of get down into 60, 70, maybe through here. Here's somebody else beginning their qualifying session. And for some reason they dive into the pits and they don't qualify. So here I'm finishing up my first qualifying lap and end up being third. Kind of looks promising, but now as we advance to the conclusion of the third qualifying lap, you can see that I've dropped all the way down to sixth place. And these tires there's a warning right there telling me to go into the pits, but it's the last lap, so I just head out on the straightaway and see if I can better my seventh place now. And it doesn't look like I'm going to, because I end up being eighth. Although there's a bit of time left before qualifying was over, and they ended up even losing more spots. Um, and here's the field, as you would say, and as you can see, I'm quite a ways back there. And the wet tires have been removed by the game because the weather conditions have changed. So now I've got what I believe is medium tires, but they might be soft. And as I scroll through, I make sure that I have my medium tires and get back to scrolling through the crowd. There's one of those Exomobiles. There's another one. A Mercedes-Benz, a Ferrari, a Porsche, and then back to me in 16th place. So that was not a very impressive qualifying section. But now we're getting ready for the race. And we're off. Little Formula Mazda there. One guy in that Mercedes I-90, 190, went off track. There's another Porsche 944 who's swinging kind of wide there. I've already lost a spot. A bit of a traffic jam here in this corner. All kinds of people getting jammed up. And I just try to kind of power my way through there, and I end up gaining a couple of spots. Got a Formula Mazda diving underneath me. Those are pretty nimble little open wheelers, and they don't need a whole lot of room to squeeze underneath you. Yellow Testarossa in front of me. He seems to be sliding around a bit. Yeah, I thought he was going to go off track. And there's another car that went off track that looked like a Porsche. There's a couple of guys playing bumper cars with one another. And this looks to be an no, what is that? Oh, that's a Firebird. I lose grip a little bit there and go off track, and that Formula Mazda ducks underneath me again. Around this uphill sweeper, going into a downhill sweeper that leads up into another uphill sweeper. This one to the left, and it transitions over to a right, and then you head back around to the top or the upper portion of the racetrack up here. Got another Formula Mazda coming around my right side. And he does manage to start to get around me, but then he backs off. But he gets around me on the other side, and then we make contact with one another. And I get a time violation for that collision. And then he pushes me off track. And from what I see, he didn't get a penalty for that. And I lose several spots. Catherine, or however you pronounce it, little British roadster thing, kind of a modern take on a Lotus 7. So I'm beginning to think that I might be able to get around this Ferrari. He seems to be sliding around quite a bit. And I do get my nose underneath him a little bit here. And then make contact, and he goes off track again. And that guy goes off track and kind of slams into me. And I end up gaining a position as we begin the final lap. And from the looks of things in front of me, it doesn't look like there's anybody that I'm going to be able to catch. So I'm focusing more on my rear view mirror, seeing what that guy is going to do. And I'm going to try my best to fend him off. And I see that he's going to dive underneath me, so I kind of do a little speed block there, which is, you know, that's legal. You can do that in racing. And then he loses control and flies off the track behind me. So, but there's somebody else. That front end kind of looks like maybe it's a Mercedes. Oh, it might be an Audi. But whatever kind of car it is, it's getting awful close to me as we come around this final corner for the last lap. Have a drag race to the start-finish line. So it looks like I'm going to end up being 14th in this race, which is certainly not a spectacular finish, but it's better than a DNF. So that's my race for today at Catalunya. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the racetrack.